endocrine system is a lot like the heating system inside your home. Your house is set to a certain temperature, and when it gets too hot or too cold, the heat will turn on or off to keep it at that temperature. It is much the same for the endocrine system, except it deals with hormones instead of heat. When your hormones are in imbalance, your hormone producers will turn on or off to try to keep it at that level.
What?
The Science Guy.
What?
The Science Guy.
What?
The Science Guy.
Science rules.
What?
The Science Guy.
Inertia is a property of matter.
The Science Guy. The Science Guy.
And there are many glands involved in the endocrine system, ranging from the hypothalamus to the adrenal gland. Each of these glands secretes a hormone that influences the activities of cells in other tissues. But how does the body know when to release hormones? There are three main ways, the first being through positive and negative feedback loops. In these, a gland receives a signal telling it to change the speed at which some hormone is secreted. For instance, if the glucose levels in your blood are too high, your body will release insulin to lower it. If your glucose levels are too low, your body secretes glucagon to stimulate the release of glucose. The second way is through the presence of other hormones.
Imagine that the rain is dropping into this water. The raindrop goes in one direction, reaching the specific target, but its signal can indirectly affect other glands, creating the ripple effect. If you drop another raindrop into the same puddle, the ripple will be affected by the first raindrop.
The final way is through environmental stimuli, which is controlled by the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is the main connection between the endocrine and nervous system. It feeds information about the environmental conditions such as light, temperature, and emotions to the pituitary gland, which in turn signals many of the glands throughout the body.
Consider the following. You need more than milk to keep your bones strong. If you don't have vitamin D to absorb the calcium, the PTH will break down in your bones. So make sure to go outside and have sunlight because you need vitamin D.
The pineal gland is located in the brain. It secretes a chemical called melatonin, which serves as a sort of biological clock. The amount of melatonin you make depends on the amount of light that's received by the retina. Melatonin is what makes you tired when you're watching a video in a dark room and alert when it's outside during the day. Our parents, dentists, and even teachers tell us that sugar is bad for you. However, the body needs energy from sugars such as glucose. At the same time, our body needs two hormones called insulin and glucagon to control glucose levels. These hormones are secreted by the pancreas through alpha and beta cells. When your glucose is too low, alpha cells release glucagon to stimulate the release of glucose. When your glucose levels are too high, the beta cells release insulin, which stimulates glucose uptake in muscle and liver cells.
So, type 1 diabetes occurs when the D cells in your pancreas are destroyed by your body. This doesn't allow any insulin to be created, so then the glucose in your blood level rises because the glucose can't be put into the cells. Type 2 diabetes occurs when the body creates the insulin, but it does not work with the cells, so that when the insulin tries to go and open the cells, they don't fit, as in a lock and key. The sugar levels then rise because the sugar can still not get into the blood, into the cells. Diabetes is kind of like getting love melons delivered. Type 1 happens when the doorbell doesn't work.
It seems the doorbell isn't working.
There's nothing to signal that the love melon has arrived, so the love melons will keep piling up outside the house. In type 2, they do answer the doorbell, but they reject it, so the same situation occurs as before.
When? I found this watermelon outside, and the redness reminds me of my heart, which beats for you.
Your body never sleeps, even when you do. When it isn't digesting your food or moving skeletal muscles, it's repairing cells, storing memories, and secreting hormones. These hormones travel in the endless highway that is your bloodstream, instructing cells what to do, when to do it, and even when to slow down.
Old MacDonald had an endocrine system, E-I-E-I-O. And in that endocrine system, he had some glands, E-I-E-I-O. With a hormone here and a hormone there, hormones, hormones everywhere. Old MacDonald had an endocrine system, E-I-E-I-O.